All right. Well, officially, welcome everybody to our Monday night Healthy Huddle. We are so excited. I'm Megan Renna, and this is
Brandon.
Brandon. We love coming to you. We're part of your support team. So if you haven't officially met us, we welcome you to our community, and we're excited to have you be a part of this. We love to grow and learn together and continue to lean on each other in all different walks. So you're going to hear some of us. We're going to be catering to part of what we cover in the weight loss phase, but I want you to also realize that the whole program is geared to be a lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. And so no matter what part of the journey you're in, hopefully you can take some of the principles that we're applying and use them, even if it's related to your parenting or your business or your relation, your marriage, whatever it is. Usually you can take the principles and apply it to the other areas and aspects of your life too, to continue moving forward in all. Because again, we want people to be completely well-rounded and whole and healthy in all aspects and areas. So one of the things that I did really want to kind of cover tonight, because I hear this often, right? Usually one of the first questions I ask people when I'm chatting with them on their health assessment is, what are you looking to accomplish? And almost the number one answer is, I just want to lose this weight. Just want to get rid of this weight. And my next question is often, have you lost weight in the past? And most people can say, yes, I am a professional at losing weight. I've lost it over and over and over. I've lost the same 20 pounds or I've lost the same 50 pounds. So who is going to be even brave and pop on our chat here? Have you in the past lost weight? Have you been successful at losing weight before? And I'll give it just a quick second to see who's going to be brave and bold. I know that I was a lifetime yo-yoer in the past and had been really great at losing weight. So let's see here. We'll just wait, or pop off mute if you've, lost a ton in the past. If you don't know, there is a little chat button there. Let's see. All right. Well, everybody's being quiet.
I don't think I know where the chat function is.
Go ahead, Kristen.
I am looking quite lovely. I am sick like a lot of other people. But anyway, Eric and I did Weight Watchers in the past. And we did really well as long as we were going to meetings. And then we didn't have time for meetings and we stopped going and we gained it all back and more. So that's our path.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And Eileen, it looks like you popped something in the chat here. Let me see. Lost more times than you can count, right? So many of us. You're not alone in that. And that's where usually it leads me to my next thing. Well, it sounds like you kind of know what to do in terms of losing weight. It sounds like you're more looking to create wellness and keep that weight off. And create, again, that lifelong transformation. And so why don't we dig in and look at what will that look like instead? So here's what I wanted to kind of chat about tonight. We see and create what we decide to focus on. I'm going to teach you this kind of nifty little part of your brain here. It's called the reticular activating system. If you don't know, it's like a bundle of nerves. It's like the size of a lima bean at the base of your brain. And the way it works, it's like a filter or like a gatekeeper or even like a secretary, if you want to kind of think of it, of like determining what gets through to like that main boss, you. And what are you going to allow to be focused on and put your time and attention into. So it's kind of that connection from your subconscious mind, which can handle, get this guys, this is just like fun fact of the night. I love these fun facts. 40 million bits of data per second for your subconscious mind. Your actual conscious mind can only handle 40 bits of data per second. So obviously that subconscious is working overdrive all the time, but you have then this RAS that's like giving you this filter system, because there's absolutely no way in our conscious mind we could handle that amount of data coming at us all the time. So, but here's the cool thing is you can actually start to flip what your mind's going to be focusing on. And here's kind of an example of we've probably all had these examples of when we can see it at play. Have you ever been in the market? I know we recently had bought a Honda Pilot and I had researched it and looked at it and I was like, yes, so excited. And we went and bought it. And then the second that we got out and I went to the parking lot, I saw like all of a sudden a million Honda Pilots everywhere there were. Or I would look at like this one outfit and I was so excited to get this one outfit. And then I would go out and I'd see everybody wearing the same thing. Or I would just change my ringtone on my phone, right? Thinking like, oh, I'm going to be so original and have this unique ringtone. And all of a sudden, everywhere I go, I hear the same ringtone because now my brain is cued to focus for that because this is now important data. I need to know when I need to answer my phone. I need to know how to find my car. And so you're creating all those new pathways all the time by letting your RAS for short, we'll keep it real simple, right? Of what's important to you. What do you need to know? And so here's the deal though. It's only going to let through what's most important. And so if we're kind of filling gaps all the time of even like, we're not confident, those people end up being not confident. If we're saying we can't lose weight, it's letting us think we can't lose weight. If we think we'll always mess up, we will always mess up, because that's our focus. And that it's like that target of drawing you towards that, kind of creating it. And so the way it usually goes too is we have that self-talk, which then creates proof for us, which then creates an actual belief. And so we want to, again, kind of reframe that. So if we can start off with the self-talk to create different proof for ourselves, to create a different belief, and it gets us moving in the right direction instead. And so we want to focus on not so much what most of us do. We focus on what we fear or what we're, don't want. And so again, most of us focus in on that weight loss piece of it, or regaining the weight. That's where we're zeroed in and focused on. But then inevitably we end up kind of creating that problem for ourselves. And so the goal is, again, to reframe your RAS to show you things to prove a new belief that is true for you now, not what used to be true, but what you want now. And so we want to kind of, again, set it to see what you want. And so I want to give us this example of like, I don't know where you live, but think of like, for us, a long trip would be a trip to Disney. And so there's all that anticipation. We're excited to go. We're driving down. We're making the way. And then we get to Disney, right? Which is kind of our weight loss. That was our goal. And then we turn around and we don't even go in the park. And that's what so many of us do when we only sit and focus on the weight loss piece of this alone, because we hit that target, but then we don't go and like enjoy the fruits of our labor. We don't stay there for long enough to really enjoy in that new body, in that thing that we've just created. We turn around, again, usually based in fear, but that's what and it sounds ridiculous, right? To think of doing that. But oftentimes, if we really think of all the times that we've lost and gained in the past, that's exactly what we're doing. We're heading down to Disney, or we're heading down to the beach, or somewhere we're really, really excited to go. And then we turn around and loop back around, and we don't stay and enjoy it. And so I want you to, again, be able to start focusing and shifting that of what you really want, so you can enjoy that new body, that you can then be on all the rides. You're not just there to wait in the line. You're not there for the labor part of this. We want to be there to enjoy the full fulfillment of the fruits of your labor again. And usually, I mean, it's a whole lot more enjoyable, right? When we get to like not have to sit and take breaks because our ankles or our knees hurt from carrying the extra weight on our joints, or we're sweating profusely because of the extra body weight that we're carrying around. We actually want to be in the pictures because we feel better and more confident, and we get to be part of all those memories instead. And so I just, again, really try to focus on what you want. What are you setting your RAS to focus on?
Some of us might even not realize we're not setting it on what we want. I tend to think of, well, yeah, that's what I want. But the thoughts in my head, as you read that, I was thinking, my thoughts are, I'm worried about being this. I'm worried about being this. Yeah. I'm worried about being this. And all of my worries of what I don't want are faster or more prevalent than the what I want. And it's like you're saying, if you don't know that, think about your thinking. That sounds very redundant, but think about your thinking, because you might not realize you're spending more time playing defense and trying to not be something, like running away from being overweight, or not wanting to be this or that or whatever, or perceived as this or that. And you're spending more time and acting on that. So just something to consider.
Yeah, exactly. And so going back to that example of the trip to Disney, here's the deal. Your weight loss, it can either be the goal, or it can just be the vehicle that's taking you to that destination of where you want to go, which usually, if we think about it, is truly wellness. And so if we shift that focus. And so one thing I thought we could all do throughout this week, Brandon and I practiced this morning, and it was really eye-opening to just visually have it written down. And so to go through even and write out what you don't want. like it's okay to go ahead and get very clear on what you don't want anymore. And if it is that extra weight, if it is the fear of regaining the weight, if it is you don't want to be all crazy sweaty anymore because we're going into summer and you're carrying the extra body weight, whatever it is, write down those things that you don't want. What if we go ahead and even take a minute here, and whoever's going to be brave and bold, start popping in the chat or pop off mute. What are the things that you don't want?
Participation.
I know. We want everybody to jump in. I know it's intimidating.
I was just thinking about something you said, and I think what I don't want is to not like pictures that are taken of me, because sometimes I see pictures and I'm like, oh, I'm still not where I want to be. So that's pretty big for me.
That's so awesome, Sarah. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else? The inflammation. That's a good one. Don't want the inflammation. Don't want to live without anymore. That's awesome. Anybody else want to pop off mute or pop it in the chat? And it can be a totally private list for you, or I'm almost positive the things that you start sharing, it's going to cue for somebody else. You're not alone in those things you don't want. For sometimes, even for me, I know that, again, this doesn't only apply to the weight loss. This can apply to my parenting. Like I have often said, like, I don't want to be like, this angry or reactive or feel insecure. Oh, that's such a good one. Okay. Anybody else? We'll give it one more second. Anyway,
I don't want to be sick anymore.
I know, that's true. Don't want to worry. That's a good one. So yeah. Okay, so we have that don't want list, right? But I would encourage us all to go ahead and like cross out that don't want list and reframe it instead of what we want. So we want to feel confident in our pictures. We want to have a healthy body. We want to be secure within ourselves and confident and comfortable in our own skin. We want to have peace of mind. We want to have appropriate sizes or healthy sizes. So just start reframing it and what you actually want, and then go through the next one. And I would love for everybody to try to do this for the next 7 days. Start this in the morning, write 3 things. So just write like 1, 2, 3, what I want and what I will today. So it might be whatever it's related to. If it's related to sleep, I will get to bed at an appropriate time at 9 p.m., whatever it might be. I will get in half of my body weight in ounces of water. I will call a friend today and to connect. I will, you name it. But I would snap a picture of that, start every single morning like that. Wake up like 5 to 10 minutes early and just write 1, 2, 3, what I want and what I will for that day. Take a snapshot and send it over to your coach every single morning for the next 7 days. And let's just see what starts to shift. And I would imagine the more that you start to program that RAS to start focusing in on what you actually want, not what we don't want, but what we want and what we're willing to do, that you're going to start to see those things just naturally have already been in existence, right? Because again, when we go back to that car example, when we go back to that clothing example or that ringtone example, they've already been in existence. They've already been there. We just haven't been at a place to observe them and notice them before because we were in an unhealthy habit of thinking in regards to them, or it wasn't important to us at the time to notice it. But now that we're noticing, we are also going to be more aware. And so we're going to be finding those people that are also like-minded, that we're going to be finding those cues throughout the day that will help us create that too. And so I'm excited to see how that shift will hopefully continue to help you all move forward. Mm-hmm. And so that way you head to Disney and you stay at Disney. You don't just turn around and loop home. And then our story of the week, I'm so excited. I have a sweet, dear friend, Sarah, that's going to pop on here and share her health transformation with you all to just be inspiration and encouragement. And hopefully, again, our stories always have such a key to unlocking something for somebody else. So Sarah, take it away.
Hi guys, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, all right. Never done this in a big group like this. So thanks for asking me to share, Megan and Brandon. I live in Minnesota, so I was just thinking, all you California people who are sick, we were sick from December to February, so you're way behind us. I feel bad for you though. Good luck. And I have 3 children. I've been married for 15 years. My kids are, my son is 14, and then I have girls that are 11 and 8, or 11 and 9 actually, just turned 9. And so my journey kind of began, it began when I was born, right? But I started Optavia about 10 months ago. And what happened for me was I was approaching 40, still am, so in my later 30s, and just was watching the scale kind of creep up. And it had never been that much of an issue for me. And so, you know, I just wore my pants tighter and everything just felt tighter. Each year it was another 10 pounds, another 10 pounds. And I just saw myself getting to be about probably 40 pounds overweight by 40. And I just didn't want that. So my husband and I had tried, you know, all different kinds of whole food programs out there. And I like to cook, but not 24/7. And that's what I felt like I was doing to prep for my days and my work days and snacks and doing it for my husband. And it just was all the time in the kitchen. And I might have dropped, you know, 5, or I think the most I ever lost was 10 pounds. But the minute I stopped, it came right back on. So ran into a really good friend of mine. Her name is Liz, and she's one of the coaches on our team here. And she was sharing this opportunity of Optavia with me, and I was very skeptical. But I knew I sort of had the option of either investing some money in a program that was gonna potentially work. I wasn't convinced it would, or I was gonna be going out and buying all new clothes for summer. So I brought it up to my husband. He was in agreement. Let's do it. We did it together. And we both we lost about 50 pounds combined in 6 weeks on the 5 and 1, and have kept it off ever since. And so probably halfway through my 5 and 1 experience, I just was blown away at how effective and simple this program was. I'm a ER nurse, and so I have a really crazy schedule, kind of not a lot of rhyme or reason to it. And it worked. It was simple. I didn't find myself stressing about what I was going to eat. You guys all know, if you've been doing the program, it just is simple. And that's what I needed. And so I felt like I had this huge gift I needed to share with people. Nobody around here in the cities that in my circle, anywhere around, had ever heard of anything like this. So I linked arms with Liz and Megan and Eling, who's in this chat. And so us 3 have kind of started a little team here in Minnesota, and it's been amazing. I am super excited. I haven't gone live on Facebook with this yet, but we'll back up. Today at work at the hospital, I got a pin that I've been working there for 10 years. Never worked somewhere that long. And the other side to that is, starting April 1st, I'm cutting way back with my health coaching, or with my nursing, because my health coaching is pretty much supplementing my nursing income. And I've only been coaching for about 9 months. So just the dream to be able to work from home, I never thought was possible, and I'm doing it. It's a little scary, but it's totally worth it. And just am able to start dreaming again. And to be honest, Megan was here this fall. That's something that I haven't done in, I don't even know if I've ever actually really dreamed. And so this has been a fun journey. Megan wanted me to just kind of point out maybe a specific habit of health that I've incorporated into my life. And one thing that really stands out for me is exercise. So the habit of exercise. And for me, I was a competitive swimmer. I swam through college. And so my dysfunctional relationship with exercise began when I finished my college swimming. And it really became this back and forth thing where I would exercise so I could eat more food, and then I would eat more food, and then I'd have to exercise. And it was this constant like rocking chair for me. And so for 15 years, exercise has only been related to decreasing my calories, or so I could have more calories. I never lost weight by exercising. My why I exercised was because I wanted to eat. And so it was just really dysfunctional and frustrating. And so with working with 5-in-1 on Optavia and working on just the nutrition and getting to a healthier, leaner body through that, my relationship with exercise is just, it's so fun now. And I love how with exercise, the reason I exercise is for long-term health and to be strong and my mental health. And that's just been a really transforming thing for me. And my 2 young girls, you know, that's what I want them to see. That's why we exercise, it's for health. So that's one thing. And then I'll also say water. Like I could go days without water. And so just getting in that habit of drinking water. And, you know, at first it was frustrating because I was going to the bathroom all the time. And I'm a nurse and you can't go to the bathroom all the time. But Megan and Liz, they encouraged me to keep doing it. They said it would get better, and it did. That increased, going to the bathroom is about a week, and it really does get better. And then the cool thing is your body, once your body realizes how amazing it is with water, it needs it, craves it when you miss those days. So I love that, that habit, and am quickly reminded when I'm falling behind. So yeah, that's kind of my journey, and I love sharing it with people. So thanks for letting me share that.
Sarah, that was so awesome. I mean, gosh, I don't know how many people can relate to that, but I have so been that like torturous exerciser in the past of just wanting to like out exercise my fork, which never happened, or it was just this vicious cycle, like you said, of back and forth.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Imagine if your career is dependent on your ability to exercise too. That's the military. And if you don't exercise for 6 months, your career and your time in the military is dictated by, can you exercise? So there's a lot of frantic readiness testing people out there. They're just constantly running and they're killing their joints and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. So we love changing.
Well, I got, when you guys had your list on the wall behind you, my thought was, I want to exercise and not be so sore I can't walk for 3 days.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what I do. So if you could add to your list, that's what I would have added. I want to exercise and feel good. And not, in pain. And I'm getting there.
Enjoy exercise, right. I think is just a huge thing of I want. So I love that. Well, everybody, it was so fun. We were like wrapping up here just a couple minutes early. So I just, again, love coming together on Monday nights. I hope you always find this valuable. So again, really think this week about what do you want and what are you willing to do? What are those top 3 things? Start it every morning. Take a snapshot of what you write down and send it over to your coach and start reframing and refocusing that RAS to see the things that you now deem important. Not what used to be, not who you used to be, or all the past, like, I can't do this or I can't do that. You're reframing it and seeing what's important to you now in this new healthy body that you're creating, and not about weight loss, about wellness and what you're creating for long-term health. So loved coming together on Monday. We'll see you next Monday. And hope you guys all have a great week. I'm excited to see those texts coming in from my clients. And then be sure, again, just know that Brandon and I are a part of your support team and always eager to celebrate with you too. So we're always looking for other stories to highlight as well. So if you have a story that you feel is important for you to share and get the word out of what you're accomplishing and what you're excited about, we would love to highlight your story in the coming weeks too. But have a great Monday, everybody, and have a fantastic week.